Hey everybody, it's your boy LeBay Rome, the Disabled Fragrance Guy, and I'm back for another review. Do me a favor, if you haven't done so already, please go down below, like and subscribe to the channel. While you're down there, hit that notification bell so you'll be notified about every video that I drop to YouTube. I don't want you guys to miss a beat. Guys, we have almost made it through 2020. This is going to be my last review of 2020, and it's a standout fragrance. I try to bring you guys the best in independent and niche perfumery as I can, as I get things in, as I research things, and this review is going to be no different. I reached out to a company that I found on Facebook called Icon des Parfums, and Icon was gracious enough to send me a bottle for my review. This is Icon des Parfums fragrance Baseline. Now, Baseline, I believe, came out in 2019. This is a 30 ml bottle, and let's go through the presentation here real quick. This is really thick, heavy, sturdy glass. I do like that. The name of the fragrance Baseline is laser etched into the bottom of the bottle there, if you can see that. And on the front, the company logo is also laser etched into the glass. Now, the one thing I do not like about this presentation is that this is a plastic cap and it's very, very flimsy. And about 3 minutes before this video started, I inadvertently lifted the bottle by the cap. The cap fell off, the bottle fell down, hit my table, hit my floor. I almost lost the whole thing. That's no good for anybody. So if I have one ding against the company with the presentation, it's you got to get more sturdy caps on these bottles, guys, because this is a disaster waiting to happen, especially with someone as klutzy as me. Yeah, somebody's going to break one of these and they're going to be really upset. But other than that, I do like the presentation of Baseline. The atomizer works very, very well. I'll give us a spray on this sample card here. It is my scent of the day today. So here we go. Atomizer works very, very well. It gives a very wide distribution. And off the top, now, before I get into the smell, I will let this cool down for a hot minute. Baseline, the name of the fragrance comes from an arterial road that runs east to west in Arizona. Now, I've been out to Arizona a few times. I've been to Phoenix, Sedona, and places like that. It's beautiful desert out there. I've really enjoyed my time out there when I went in the early 2000s. It is hot. And when I mean hot, it is a hot I have never experienced before in my life, and I don't want to experience again. Forget all that dry heat stuff when it comes to Arizona, when it comes to Phoenix. That dry heat stuff, I don't know what you guys are doing out there, but that dry heat stuff does not work because you will burn. You will burn. And so, but this does remind me of my times out in Arizona, and I do appreciate it for that, those memories, because they were very good. It's a 30 ml bottle. Like I said before, the price point on this bottle is $39.99. So 40 bucks rounded up, not bad at all. On the price point, definitely well worth the finances on that level. It's on this card right here, as you saw. The notes. The notes are simple: caramel and leather. Now, I didn't know whether to expect something harmoniously matched with those two notes. I didn't know if this was going to be a hot mess, because I have never experienced a note structure of caramel and leather before. However, I will tell you, after experiencing caramel and leather put together, I will tell you that they marry together very, very well. And that was a complete shock to me. That was a complete surprise to me, but a pleasant one, because I really do enjoy that note structure. What I get from the start, and I have this as my scent of the day, sweet burst, but not too sweet, of the caramel from the first spray, with a sexy undertone of leather. However, it's a weird, not weird, it's an eclectic leather. I will say it's an eclectic leather in that, for my nose, I actually get some florals in there as well, mixing with the caramel and the leather. Now, you guys know florals really don't work with me. However, I may be changing my mind on that, because these florals, at least to my nose, are working very, very well with my skin and the leather and the caramel. So, and also, before I forget, there's a little bit of a dirty, earthy nuance that I'm getting. So even though that there are only two notes listed, I'm getting sort of a dirty, earthy feeling as well. Maybe a little bit of a vetiver type vibe. I'm getting that. But back to the florals. The florals actually remind me of another fragrance that I used to have in my collection, and that fragrance is Nichane's Floraine. And if you are familiar with Floraine, you will understand that the florals in that fragrance are very, very potent, but they're very, very nice as well. And so with the caramel and the leather, I'm getting a very Nichane Floraine vibe. And if you like that fragrance, you are definitely going to want to check out Baseline. Now, I will tell you as well, it is a bit on the generic side. Now, with the nuance of the florals and the comparison to Floraine, how can it be generic? Well, it's linear. It doesn't take any death-defying turns. It doesn't, transition terribly much. What you get from the first spray is pretty much what you're going to get throughout the life cycle of the fragrance. However, it does feel kind of like you could buy this in a kiosk at the mall and it wouldn't feel out of place there. However, that does not mean it's not a good fragrance. It is a decent fragrance. However, it does feel as though a little simplistic, a little that you could get this, on a Saturday morning trip to the mall type of vibe to me. So it's not the most complex thing in the world, but it's not the most simple thing in the world as well. It straddles a line quite nicely. It's very easy to wear. I could dress this up, dress this down. I'm wearing a sweater today. I went out to the mall actually and walked around a bit. I was wearing this. It was working very well with my skin and the chemistry and the walking around in the sweat. So yeah, I do like the fragrance. It's a very good fragrance, but don't expect 25 turns. It's not going to turn from caramel to leather, back to caramel, to a floral, and back to the leather again. It's not going to do that. Once you spray it on, that's what you're going to get throughout the life cycle of the fragrance. Now, I would say you could wear this in fall, winter, spring, and a mild summer. Now, I say a mild summer because, as you guys know, I live in the Washington, D.C. metro area. Summers here are brutally hot, brutally humid, brutally sweaty. I would not personally pull for this in the summertime if I were here. You've got to be in a dry climate, and I don't think you could be in Arizona. I could be very wrong, but I think you need to be in a dry climate with very low humidity to pull this off in the heat. I think you're better suited for fall, winter, and a mild spring on this fragrance because of the leather note and the caramel note in here. I think you're best off with the cooler months on this fragrance. So that does knock it down a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit for me because I tend to want to pull for my fragrances all year round. I can't do that with this. I will not be doing that with this. So you guys got to take that into consideration as well. The performance is very good. It lasts 7 hours, 8 hours on my skin. And for $40, that's a win in my book, guys. That's a total win in my book. The price point is right and it lasts 7 hours. This is a Parfum concentration. So it is going to ride with you throughout your day. 3 sprays of this, you are good to go. I would not do more than 3 sprays, especially if you are in a warmer climate. Don't do more than 3 sprays. You might be upset with yourself, but definitely the performance is there at 7.5 hours, 8 hours. It doesn't become a skin scent, at least on me, so I'm very happy with that. And I get the visualization. Now, I always try to tie my fragrance reviews to my past and maybe my disability and maybe past experiences. And when I wore Baseline, I've tested it out a few times, and when I've worn Baseline, I always go back to the same visualization, and that is going to my grandmother's house and visiting with my uncles. And one of my uncles has, or had at the time, a leather jacket, a Chicago Blackhawks leather jacket. And he used to smoke very flavorful cigarettes. So the Black and Milds, other flavored cigarettes like that. And this fragrance baseline reminds me of that. And I absolutely love that memory because I love the way the leather plays off of the sweet. I love how the sweet plays off of the leather. Those were wonderful times. We used to watch Blackhawks games and Bulls games together in the wintertime. And man, this is just a wonderful fragrance in my book. I absolutely love it. Now, I also will tell you, when I went to the mall in my senior year of high school, this fragrance would actually fit into that experience as well, because I used to run around the mall, chasing the little cute girls around, the cheerleaders or whatever the case may be, and used to dodge in and out of Wilson's leather coat store. And so I had my leather coat on. I definitely get a Wilson's leather vibe here. So if you want to take a trip back down memory lane to Wilson's leather, pick yourself up a bottle of Baseline. You can't really go wrong with this fragrance. The performance is there. The price is right. Guys, I got nothing more to say about it. It's a standout fragrance in my book. Casual, formal, dress up, dress down, 3 out of 4 seasons, 7.5 hours performance. Why wouldn't you pick this up? If you're a gourmand lover, if you're a leather lover, pick this up. You won't be disappointed. I firmly vouch for Baseline. That's my time, guys. Thank you very much for your attention. I know you guys have your choice of content creators out here. I want to thank you for rocking with me this past year. I know I only got started in May, but so it's been a half a year. But I sincerely, guys, want to thank you for rocking with me for most of 2020. I know it's been a heck of a year. Hopefully 2021 will be a lot better. This was my last review of 2020. So be on the lookout for my first review of 2021. That's going to drop on New Year's Day. And I will see you next time. I'll see you next year. Be blessed. Keep your eyes on the prize. I know I'm sounding like Martin Luther King, but it's going to get better. 2021's around the corner. I'll see you later.